Hello everybody, RV living with the geezer. Now I'm just out on the back roads again, and first thing I want to talk about is I got this pretty card, and yeah, I've had some comments, you don't watch the road when you film. I do. That's why my camera's pointing in the wrong direction most of the time. But so it was a thank you card from a friend of mine in West Texas. I'll just say West Texas. He wants it to be anonymous, and he just sent me a nice donation for my or gift for my gas tank, and I certainly appreciate it. And, I'll term it this way: he's from far West Texas, almost as far as you can go. So anyway, thank you, man. I appreciate that a lot. That was a very nice gift, and keeps these driving videos going, that's for sure. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about minimalism. And yeah, I guess I classify myself now as a minimalist for sure, because I live in I don't know if it's a 22 or 24. It's no bigger than 24 foot, and that would be from the hitch to the bumper. Everything I own is in that trailer and this truck. I don't own anything anywhere else. So I don't have anything in storage, or but I just want to talk how that started. It started back in, this could be a really long video, so I'm going to sort of condense it. Started back in 2007. I had a life-changing event happen, and I'm not going to say what it was, but I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a death, but it starts with the same letter. Okay, so just take it from there. Anyway, and it was unexpected, okay? I didn't know it was coming along. So all of a sudden, and through the years, I'd accumulated stuff like every other guy does. We had homes and had a storage area like in each one of them that had stuff in it, that I like never used, like buckets of or little cans of nuts and bolts, and is that theory, well, I may need this someday, so I had all that going on, had all sorts of I had a closet and I had clothes in it, and so when this event came along, and I had to sell the house that we had, and it was paid for. The house was paid for. It's a house I grew up in, and I left, and it was the last house that we came back to. Remodeled it and everything, but anyway, had to sell the house, and it sold way quicker than what I thought it was going to sell. So I had to put a roof over my head. So I said, well, I'll just get an RV. And I'd had RVs, for years. We'd had RVs for vacations, pleasure type deal. Well, I'll just live in an RV. So I went down to Hoover RV and Bernie, and I bought one. Just walked in there and went and looked at one and bought it. Okay. And so I put it on a friend's property. He told me I had a 30 amp hookup put in, and he told me I could put it out there. So I put it out there, and I still didn't have the real idea of living in an RV. It had a nice couch in it, and it had its own TV. Well, what do? I bring my old recliner, jam it in there, get it in there. I bring my TV it had a TV, but I said mine was bigger. So I brought this big old TV, put it in there, several other things, some tables. I mean, I had it packed with stuff, and I couldn't even hardly move around in there. And this one was bigger, way big. It's bigger than the one I have now. It was like 28 foot, but I just had too much crap. And so I lived in that thing. I only lived in it out there at his place. It was between Bernie and Comfort, Texas. And a very good friend of mine. He's still down there. One of my best friends. I've known him for 45 years. But I was hooked up out there at his place. You know, I was paying him a little bit for the utilities. So, but it went on from there. I moved. I went up to a deal happened, and I moved to Colorado. And so I thought I was going to be in Colorado, you know, permanently. So I quit my job, and I was driving a school bus in Bernie. Quit my job in Bernie, and this gets into minimalism in a minute. And I went to Colorado. And that didn't work out. I was up there about 10 months, up north of Denver, Longmont, and so I came back, and I found a house to rent. And while I was in Colorado, a guy that was driving a school bus with me, he wanted to buy my trailer, thank goodness, because I'm making payments on it, you know, plus I'm paying rent on a house in Colorado. So, and it wasn't cheap. So, thank goodness I sold the trailer, but then that didn't work out. I was up there 10 months, and I had to come back. Came back to, now I got to take my eyes back off here, make sure nobody's coming. So, I moved back to Comfort, Texas, and I got another job driving the school bus for Centerpoint. So, and this cabin I'm living in was 400 square feet. So I'm still got a whole U-Haul full of junk that I hauled to Colorado, a desk, that recliner. I hauled all that stuff, my TV. I hauled all that stuff to Colorado. It cost me like $1,000 for the U-Haul, you know, both ways. So I come back and I load this 400 square foot house up again, and finally it just sort of dawned on me that I'm hauling around all this stuff. I think that was the deal that did it. And why do you need all this stuff? So I started getting rid of stuff, and then I've rented houses, I haven't been in one spot since 2007, more than a year, or 14 months I think is the longest I've been. But each move I actually started getting rid of more stuff, and I in 2019 I moved back into RV full time, and it was at Starcraft, and I had to get rid of a lot of stuff. So I did that, and then I thought I wanted to live. I watched Rusty, and I found a used casita, and I thought I was going to live in a casita. So I mean, that was it right then. I cleaned out. I cleaned house. I got down to like, you know, 2 plates, to 2 forks. You know, just, I mean, seriously, I cleaned house. So this is that Keeter Road where I had my wreck, but I'm paying attention. So that's when it really went minimalist. But the casita didn't work out. It was just, I got to take my hat off to Rusty or whoever lives in them full time. You really, you know, I had Blanca too. That made a difference. I was always stepping over her, trying to get to the bathroom, and it was just too small. So that didn't last very long, and I bought this Jayco that I'm in now, which is just fine. But, and it's accumulating stuff. I mean, people will accumulate, you know, just without even thinking about it. I got more stuff in there. I was looking the other day, and I'm gonna go through it and try to find a thrift store up here. I like to give to thrift stores that support animal shelters, and I had a real good one in Fort Davis that I would give stuff to. So I'm gonna try. I mean, when the weather cools off a little bit, it's just still hot. You know, it's hot up here. And when the weather cools off a little bit, I use that as an excuse anyway, not to do anything. But yeah, I'm gonna collect a bunch. I've got several Tupperware, not Tupperware, those plastic tubs. I got several of those that I can fill up and give and get it out of there. And also, that makes, when you move, when you pull that trailer, that's just a lot of additional weight, you know. That contributed to that big old gas bill I had. There's some pretty horses out there. That guy's always got pretty horses in this place. Yeah. I lived right up here. I rented a house right up here in 2018, right off of this road. But yeah, that contributed to that big gas bill because you're just hauling more weight in that trailer, you know. And I mean, I've got like 2 drawers in that trailer, and one of them's filled up with like paperwork, which I can go through and clean out, and the other one is my you know, in your kitchen for your knives and forks and stuff. And I got too much of that stuff. Nobody comes to eat with me, you know. I mean, I eat by myself every night, and nobody. I've got, you know, I'm going to keep at least 6 forks and 6 knives. Where are you going to put 6 people in that trailer to eat? You know, 6 plates. I don't really have that many plates. I only have 2 plates, but I've got paper plates. So, but anyway, I just want to talk about how I became a minimalist. So it was that life-changing event. Here's where I had my wreck, right in front of this blue, see that blue house over there? Right here. Right here. He came over that rise. See that little rise right there? He came over that rise right there, and he was in my lane. There was no time to do anything. So, yeah, that's where it happened. God saved me. I'm still thanking him every day for that. Saved me and my dogs. So, yeah, guys, I got a car behind me, so I'm going to pull over. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this video down. I just want to let y'all tell you how minimalism started with the geezer. So that was it. And I love it too. I tell you, it's a load off of your shoulders when you get rid of everything like that. And you're not having to haul it around, tote it around, you know, pay to store it. Storage is such a ripoff. Storage built units. And I mean, people store stuff and they don't use it for 3 years, you know. You know, when's the last time you used that? Oh, 3 years ago, but I paid, you know, $2,000 storage on it. So anyway, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. So peace to y'all. Stay blessed, stay positive, and just have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.